Our coverage continuing right now with Hartford defense attorney Jim Bergenn, who is not associated with this case but has been in to give his expertise.
Yeah, from really the beginning when they were first brought in on charges in June. Jim, you've been on the phone with us all day. You drove up here. We really appreciate you taking time to give us your expertise. I want to get your reaction to the charges, the murder charge, the capital murder charge. And, you know, we haven't focused on this kidnapping charge against Fotis Dulos. That's pretty interesting as well.
All that simply means is before he allegedly killed, he held her against her will.
Somewhere.
So, well, just holding her. I mean, kidnapping is sometimes thrown in on all murder charges if there's some period of time where you are preventing the person from going where they might like otherwise to go.
So that doesn't necessarily mean that the alleged murder happened in the garage of her home? Does that mean?
Right. In fact, it kind of means it didn't. I mean, I'm only going with the dots
Sure.
that you've given me,
Yeah.
right? But the way I connect those dots is lots and lots of blood, the kinds of injuries that somebody is not going to recover from unless they get medical treatment, but she's not given medical treatment. She's putting on these zip ties.
According to the arrest warrant.
Right. This is all. Everything is according to the arrest warrant.
Right.
Because we don't know anything besides what's stated.
Yeah, the
so we are
attorney's
reporting on what's stated.
Right.
But based on that, zip ties, plastic bag, car, travel, and where she goes or where that body goes and when she dies, nothing is stated at all about that.
No.
What's stated is bags, zip ties, tape, fingerprints, DNA of the relevant 3 people.
And it is stated, and Connecticut State Police do have a subsection in this of why they believe Jennifer Dulos is no longer alive, and they give some information in regards to that. But
well, they have to have probable cause that she is deceased, or there is no murder warrant signed.
It's been 8 months since state police have moved on this. In their press conference, the PIO essentially said, information officer, that they today felt like they had enough evidence to make these 3 arrests. What does that mean to you?
It's very simple. It just means probable cause. The probable cause standard is the lowest standard recognized in the justice system. It just means that a reasonable person could believe. It doesn't even mean probably. They don't say probable. They say probable cause, which means a reasonable person could believe. Now, if a reasonable person could believe they did this, let's charge them. And then let's put it in front of a jury. And let's see what the jury thinks. These neutral arbiters of fact will then decide, do I believe he did this beyond a reasonable doubt? And do all the other jurors unanimously come to the same conclusion? Well, then he's convicted. But between probable cause and beyond a reasonable doubt unanimously to a jury, there's an ocean. It's a huge gap. So when they say there's enough evidence, that just means there's enough evidence to charge.
Norm Pattis was saying before that he was finally able to read the arrest warrant and that he was said that there weren't many surprises in here and that he's confident and very encouraged for his case moving forward. I mean, he's able to kind of really hunker down now and look through. I mean, it's a guessing game. What do state police have for all of these months?
Because now he has the evidence that he can see that they have or don't have.
Well, and really that speaks to how hard it is to be a defense lawyer in these circumstances. Almost anything you say is going to get picked apart, and it's leading to subtle inferences by the people who are listening. So when somebody says, oh, I'm greatly relieved, it almost sounds like, oh boy, there was a lot more evidence. You know what I mean? So it depends on where you come from. If you're just a neutral person, his relief is likely to mean, gee, I thought I understood the case. They might have had some prizes. Oh, they don't have any surprises. I know this case. I can win this case. And the fact is, he can win this case. But can win and win are very different things. I mean, you know, the fact that there is a prospect that everything cuts his way, he wins, yes.
Especially if there's no body that's ever found.
Yeah, I think
that's a good
that's
starting
key
point.
here is that, you know, people were wondering if when a murder charge finally happened, if there would be more physical evidence of Mrs. Dulos somewhere. And obviously, you know, that is not something that state police have at this point.
Right. And we really have to read very carefully. You say that they've broken it out by paragraph, why they believe she's no longer with us. Well, they have to do more than believe. Nobody cares whether they believe. What it matters is, is she no longer with us? And does the evidence support that conclusion? If it supports a reasonable person to believe, probable cause. If it supports, more likely than not, that's the civil standard. For criminal, you know, I am convinced beyond reasonable doubt she's no longer with us. Now you got to kill her.
They use the word indications.
Yeah, and important to note that this is the state police and prosecution's view of what happened. A defense attorney, his attorney, Norm Pattis, as that's what you do for your profession, is going to be gearing up right now and proving why they think he did not do that, as well as Michelle Troconis' lawyer.
We could sit here for hours and do this, but time is of the essence. So, Jim Bergenn, thanks for being with us.
Really appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Want to move on right now? And again, this has been going on for the last 6 months. The New Canaan